Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 दयानंद रूपम मदाचार्य मेरे. We'll do a very quick briefly we'll look at whatever we did in the past few weeks, okay, because the gap was too long, I think. So what we saw was, like any other action, like any action, prayer is also an action, and it's a karma. And an action is threefold: kayikam, vachikam, manasam. In a prayer where the body and limbs are involved, it is called kayikam karma. That is when you perform a ritual, elaborate puja, elaborate ritual like homa, yaga, or shodashopachara puja. So all that you do on a Ganesh Chaturthi or other days, Varalakshmi, even Navaratri, it is predominantly kayikam. Especially Navaratri is a lot of kayikam karma. Then comes singing the glory of Ishvara, praising his gunas, doing stuti, chanting, bhajan, reciting shlokas. All these are called vachikam karma. It is predominantly vachikam karma, since you will anyway be doing it as a part of your regular puja, be it panchopachara, shodashopachara, or any puja. So it is a part of the puja. You will have dhupa deepam, naivedyam, karpura arati, all those things. Next is manasam karma. Japa and dhyanam come under manasam karma, and manasam karma is purely manasa. It doesn't have, it is not that little bit of kayikam, little bit of vachikam is not there. Manasam is totally manasa. While performing kayikam and vachikam, mind is also involved, but manasam karma generally is always japa and dhyana. We saw the story of Puja, who built a temple in his mind with all the details, with foundation and all those things. He got into the detail of everything, and Bhagavan himself wanted to be present during his Manasa Kumbhabhisheka. So much is the importance of Manasa Japa and Manasa Puja. So in this context, that is in the context of Manasam Karma with reference to prayer, we saw few verses from Bhagavad Gita, okay, where Bhagavan himself tells us what is dhyanam and the nature of one's mind, what is the purpose of dhyanam, what is the object of dhyanam. All these things Bhagavan has been, I mean not Bhagavan has been, I have been telling you from Bhagavad Gita. So what is the context of this dhyanam? Why Bhagavan spoke about dhyanam? Bhagavan is teaching Arjuna, and in the process of teaching, he is talking about a jnani. Who is a jnani? There is a description of who is a jnani. I will give you one of the verses where, in this context, where Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Suhrud Mitra Ari Udasina Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu Sadhushu Papeshu Samabuddhi Visishyate. So, jnani is one who has a sama buddhi, whose vision is same towards a suhrit. Generally, suhrit and mitra are used in the sense of, in the meaning of friend. But there is a slight difference. Suhrit is one who helps you um, without any expectation. He doesn't expect you to return the favor. You know, um, whenever there is a need, he is there for you. Generally, we say a friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend is also there, but a suhrat is especially different. There is a difference, likely. The person may not be very close to you, but whenever there is an apat kala, whenever you need, apat means not need necessarily an emergency, but in a crucial period in your life, this person comes. You may uh, you may not be even in a position to return the favor, return the help, whatever the person is doing, but still he will help. He or she will help. Doesn't expect anything. That is suhrit. Then mitra. Mitra is a person with whom you are very close, with whom you share your secrets. Okay, that person knows everything about you. You share everything. Everybody has a friend like that. Uh, and Ari is an enemy. Udasina means a person whom you know, acquaintance. You just say, because you meet them every day when you go to the shop, you meet them there. You go to buy milk in the morning, that person is there. You go buy vegetables, that person is there. If you're going by bus every day, you meet this person in the bus stop. But you don't speak much, you just nod, you smile. You know, this person is neither a friend nor a enemy. You just know them. Hi, hello, how are you? Good morning. Okay, see you, bye. That type of person. Then a madhyastha. Madhyastha is, you know this word madhyastha. When there are two parties having some argument or some misunderstanding, then or so this person comes and he does madhyastha, arbitrator. This person comes. So this is a person who is acceptable to both the parties. Okay, a person whose words are respected by both the parties. Such a person, a madhyastha. Dveshya. Dveshya is someone who deserves to be disliked. I'm not going to get into the details of that. That a person who deserves to be disliked for his behavior or his attitude or whatever. And bandhu. Bandhu means relatives. All our relatives are bandhu. And sadhu. Sadhu generally means a sannyasi, but in this context, a sadhu means one who leads a life of dharma, one who is a good person, a satvika person, one who doesn't harm others, but doesn't mean buddhu. Okay, my child is a sadhu. So sadhu, in a sense, is different from makki. You know, like being buddhu. A sadhu is not a buddhu. A sadhu is a capable person, but chooses to be uh, kind and compassionate. You know, towards the other person, because he has certain values. A sadhu is someone who has certain values, who is really intelligent. So sadhu and buddhu should not be confused, even though both look alike, behave alike, but there is a difference. Similarities are there. Papeshu. Papeshu means a person, doesn't mean a papi. We never call anyone a papi unless like Atatais are there, you know. They are called as papis, mahapapis. But papeshu here in the sense one who follows adharma, one who leads a life of adharma. So sadhu, opposite to sadhu. So towards all these people, this person is having a sama buddhi. He doesn't differentiate. Everybody is same for him. And this person is an exalted person. Bhagavan says that. How does this status of having a sama buddhi come? How does a person gain that buddhi? this samabuddhi is possible only for an atma jnani, a jnani, not for others. And when we go through Bhagavad Gita, hopefully if someday we start Bhagavad Gita, we'll see all this in detail. Okay. So this person, a jnani, who's a mukta purusha, for him, he has a samabuddhi. And how does one gain the samabuddhi? To gain a samabuddhi, we need certain qualifications in order to be exposed even to the Shastra. Samabuddhi is possible through Shastra and Guru, right? So even to study Shastra, there are certain qualifications. We need to be prepared for it. We need to be prepared in the sense the mind is the one which receives the knowledge, listens to the Shastra. Even for Shravanam, we need certain qualifications. So what sort of qualification, what are those qualifications, we'll see later, but then the point is we need certain state of mind even to receive Shastra. The means for that is Karma Yoga, which Bhagavan talks about in the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is an attitude. Karma Yoga is not a set of karma. Karma Yoga is not a different set of karma. So generally, many people think karma, I am doing karma yoga. You don't do karma yoga, you do only karma with yoga buddhi. So that yoga there in karma yoga refers to a certain type of attitude, an attitude with which you do karma. So what is that attitude? It is prasada buddhi, Ishvara buddhi, prasada buddhi, surrender to Bhagavan. So that type of attitude is required. So that is one means. And the second means is dhyana yoga. So karma yoga and dhyana yoga are very essential for a person to be prepared, to prepare the mind, to receive Shastra. Okay? Because only through jnana, moksha, not through dhyana and karma yoga. Karma yoga and dhyana yoga are a means for Atma Jnanam. Just leading a life of karma yoga doesn't give Atma Jnanam. It prepares you for Atma Jnanam. That's all. It's not that's all. That is everything. Okay. That is everything. So karma yoga implies an attitude, and dhyana yoga, along with karma yoga, dhyana yoga also is prescribed. And for dhyanam also, karma yoga is the yoga buddhi. Without yoga buddhi, you can't even sit for dhyana. Okay, so it is always karma yoga first, and then because you need a calm mind, a restless mind cannot sit and do dhyana. We saw in the previous classes, the mind has too many guilt, anger, regret, and sorrow, pain, all those things are there. If the mind is filled with all those things, when there is blaming, either you blame other people or you find fault with Bhagavan, you blame Bhagavan also. You are angry with Bhagavan also. So that type of a buddhi, a mind, cannot sit for meditation because there is always be too many questions, too many confusions, right? Why? This question will always be there. A question for which you won't get answers. For the why, you will never get an answer. And that's why karma yoga is very important. Yoga buddhi is very important. So now this person has led a life of karma yoga, and as a result he has gained a certain frame of mind where he is able to accept everything without resistance. Then so there is some shantam, and with that shantam, now he is ready for dhyana. So Bhagavan says, Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasya sthitaha ekaki yatachittatma nirashir aparigraha. So may the meditator, the one who meditates, unite his mind constantly, remaining in a calm, in a quiet place, all alone, ekaki, and whose body and mind are relaxed and free from longing, free from any raga and dvesha also. A longing mind is always restless. A mind which has a desire is different from a mind which has longing. Longing binds, desire doesn't bind. Hmm? Only longing binds. Longing is also a desire. That's why it is a binding desire. A desire which doesn't bind you is fine. If the desire binds you, just imagine a desire which binds you. Did you even think about it? A desire binding you means what? You are not free, right? You are no more free. Your buddhi is clouded, doesn't let you see with sama buddhi. When you are bound, you can't see like that because the longing is there. It's the priority in your life. So whatever is priority, when you sit for meditation, that alone pops up, right? When you sit for meditation, you have that pressure to accomplish something. Accomplishing is not a problem, okay? You can accomplish anything in life without being under pressure, without having any pressure in your mind. You can happily accomplish something. And for that you need yoga buddhi once again. With yoga buddhiya you can accomplish. So if yoga buddhi is not there, this longing is there. And if longing is there, sorrow will be there, anger will be there, all this will. Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhi jayate. Bhagavan says that later. When the longing is there and it is not fulfilled, then it gives rise to anger. So may this person do this dhyana. How Shucho Deshe Pratishtapya, all that he says, how the seat should be, how you should arrange your seat. It should be clean place, the seat should be firm, it should not be too high, it should not be too low, and you should have a proper asana with grass and then a skin and then on top of it a soft cloth. Bhagavan gets into details. And with ekagrachita, with your mind should be focused, one pointed, absorbed in the object of meditation. May this person sit in meditation and practice meditation. For what? Atma Shuddhi. That is the purpose. The purpose of Dhyanam is Antakarna Shuddhi. This Antakarna Shuddhi, I told you, right? Even to receive Shastra, the mind has to be calm. It has to receive. Just generally in this, in the Zen Buddhism, they always say, they will hold a cup of water, a glass full of water. So if it is already full, how can you receive anything? And even if it is a dirty water, let's say a glass full of dirty water, what do you do generally? You keep pouring clean water with force. You keep pouring, 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 all the dirt comes out, and then finally what is there is clean water. We have seen all this, right? And WhatsApp also we see. WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere nowadays. You get a little bit of gyan through all this social media. And we have also done this. If there is any dirt, we keep on pouring clean water. And then finally the place becomes clean. Now it is fresh. Looks so nice. The same with mind also. The mind, the nature of the mind is clean only. We add dirt to it. So we do the cleaning once again. That's all. So antakarna shuddhi alone is the purpose of dhyana. Then what is the object of meditation? Seat is ready, everything is ready, mind is also relaxed. And the goal is moksha. Then what is the object of meditation? Object of meditation is Ishvara. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam sthiraha samprekshya nasikagram swam vishasya anavaloke. Okay, now he is saying how to sit. Sit straight. Meditation means you have to sit. Meditation cannot be done lying down. Definitely you will go to sleep. You have to sit in a comfortable position and sit straight where your shoulders are pushed back. And generally, nasikagram means tip of the nose. I have explained this in the many classes in the previous class. So I'm not going to get into the detail. But just one point, like when you sit straight, okay, when you're not bending forward, not pushing your head backward, but you're keeping your head straight without any stress on your neck. Naturally, your eyeballs are here, okay, close to the somewhere here in between, near the eyebrows. It happens automatically, naturally. So Bhagavan says sit straight. And how prashantatma vigata bhihi. So prashantatma is the mind should be calm. So generally whenever we do meditation, the first few steps are what? Relax your body, relax your mind. That is what we do, right? Only in a calm mind, meditation is possible. So every meditation starts with relaxation, even though sometimes we directly get into the object of meditation. It really actually doesn't work. Suppose I say close your eyes, focus on your breath, it doesn't happen. I have to make you relax, help you, guide you to relax. I can't make you relax unless you choose to relax. I can guide you to relax. I cannot say relax, relax, come on, relax. You can't say that. The person has to choose to relax. Everybody can only guide you to relax. Nobody can make you relax. Even if you say, you really, in your presence, I relax. My presence doesn't make you relax. I mean, I'm just giving an example. When I say my, I'm not meaning me, anybody. You feel relaxed in the presence of so and so, whoever, X, Y, Z. So relaxation is something that comes from your own self. It doesn't come from outside. Nobody can make you feel relaxed. Even in a very calm and quiet place, you can still be restless. So relaxation is your choice. So you relax first, make your mind calm. But that's why, during puja also what we do, we offer flowers, we light nice fragrant dhupam. Sometimes fragrance helps you to relax, nice fragrance. Some people like sandalwood, some people like musk, some people like jasmine. Everyone has their own fragrance which helps them to relax better. So even people who have difficulty in going to sleep, before going to bed, in fact, this is what we did in the last session of meditation also. You have to create a mood where you relax. You wind up the day, whatever duties you have to do. Suppose you are going to bed at 10 o'clock, by 9:30, you should finish all the work. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your feet. So it's a ritual, like you are getting prepared. Like whenever you do puja, there is a ritual, right? You offer flowers, you put chandanam, kumkumam, you light the lamp, you prepare everything for the nevedyam and all that. So you are getting into the mood of doing puja. Similarly, if you have to get into the mood of sleeping, then you have to finish the work, dim the light. The mind should know, you know, it's time for us to go to sleep, for me to go to sleep. So you have to dim the light. You can't have a bright light and try to fall asleep. You dim the light, you read some nice books or some boring book, okay? Because sometimes nice book will keep you alert. It will be so interesting you won't fall asleep. Read some boring book or read some Purana or Itihasa. Something nice and not necessarily Purana, Itihasa, anything. Then you fall asleep. Then it will be a peaceful sleep. So like this you have to get into that mood of going to sleep. So keep your mind calm and then be committed to the life of brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means one who has an ichcha to know Brahman is also a brahmachari. One who is a mumukshu is a brahmachari. So like this, a person may he sit thinking of me. Asita matparaha, may he sit in meditation. Matparaha, having me as the ultimate goal, thinking of me, remembering me. May he sit for meditation. How always connecting the mind in this manner. May the yogi, meditator, the one whose mind is mastered, you know, the mind is mastered means in the beginning the mind keeps moving away. You bring the mind back to whatever the object of meditation is. So once you keep on pulling it, now it knows, okay, this person is not going to let me go. Let me focus on whatever this person wants to. So the mind cooperates with you. Then it's quiet. It knows that you are serious. It knows that your interest is in this. So every time you pull your mind back, it means you're telling the mind, look, I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in this. So your priority also is clear now. So the mind focuses on whatever you want to focus upon. And the mind is mastered. And that itself gives you peace. You gain peace that way. And this mind is absorbed in me. Atma samsam adhigachati. It's placed, totally absorbed in me, Bhagavan says. So in the next verse then, Krishna points out certain conditions that make a life of contemplation possible. And where he says one has to eat in a moderate way, you should not eat too much, neither less. And also do not sleep too much, nor be awake. So everything has to be moderate. Generally, people in the name of vratam, even vrata is yatha shakti only. Suppose you have low BP, okay, and you say I'm not going to eat, you're going to make yourself miserable. So yatha shakti, and this why for pregnant women, certain the vratam and all is not applicable. For sick people, for aged people, they should not. It is not allowed. So for a yogi, everything should be moderate. Even sleeping, even talking. Bhagavan says, even the effort you take in performing your duties, Bhagavan says, even that should be moderate. Don't take too much effort in even your daily duties, whatever responsibilities are there for you to fulfill. Don't take unnecessary effort. Take necessary efforts. Even your cheshta should not be too much. The cheshta also should be moderate. Generally, everybody thinks a sadhaka means should not sleep. That is not. You should not deprive yourself of sleep, because sleep is also sacred. It's divine. It's Nidra Devi. In Sharda Stotram, Om Nidrayai Namaha is there. Do you know? in Sharda, Saraswati. While praying to Saraswati, we say Om Nidraye Namaha, one who is in the form of Nidra, one who blesses us in the form of Nidra. Because Nidra nourishes. Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Sleep nourishes a person. It improves your immunity system, improves your immunity, strengthens your immunity system, keeps you relaxed physically and emotionally. Mentally, you are alert only when you have adequate sleep. I'm not saying that you need to have a long hours of sleep, but even if you're sleeping for 2 hours or 3 hours, it should be a relaxed, deep sleep. And it gives you mental alertness, you feel energetic. And also during the sleep, the body repairs itself. That's why when you go to doctor, when you're not well, what do they do? Fever, cough, cold, anything. They will give you a tablet to go make you go to sleep. Sleep is the best medicine when you're not well. So if you don't have proper sleep, you will fall sick. So when you don't take rest, when you are supposed to take rest, then something will happen where you are forced to take rest. So rest is nourishing when your body is weak. Even lack of sleep will lead to uh, irritability, high blood pressure, overeating, restlessness. All these are possible. All this happens when you don't sleep properly. So sleep helps you in spiritual growth. That is how you should see sleep. Even afternoon nap is allowed. In our culture, afternoon nap everywhere. Afternoon nap is required. Even if it's for 10 minutes or half an hour. Even in some offices nowadays, they say a person performs better if the person takes a 10 minutes nap in the afternoon. Sleep is so important. When somebody is going to sleep, you should not make fun of that person. If the person needs sleep, let him sleep. Don't feel bad to take a nap. Nidraye namaha, remember. You should feel blessed. It's an anugraha that you are able to sleep. Okay, now this yoga, this dhyanam. Uh, okay, we saw that it should be moderate. Okay, sorry, moderate sleep, moderate activities, everything should be moderate. Okay, now I sit for meditation, my mind goes away. What should I do? Bhagavan says yato yato nishcharati manasyanchalam astiram tatastato niyamya, and bring the mind in your vasham. So if the mind goes wherever it goes, slowly bring it back and keep it in your vasham. Be the master. That is how you have to practice to be the master. That also comes only through practice. So that is like when Arjuna asks Anchalam hi mana Krishna Balavad Dridam Pramati, hey Krishna, this mind is a tyrant. It keeps dragging me wherever it doesn't. I don't think it's easy to control this mind. Just like it is not possible to control Vayu. It's impossible. Then Bhagavan says, yeah, no doubt. It is really very strong, like the wind. But then Abhyasena tu kaunteya, Vairagyena, Grihyate. So through constant practice, you can definitely bring the mind in your control. Because the nature of the mind is to move, it will go. But you train the mind through abhyasa, through constant practice, and also through vairagya. Vairagya is absence of longing. With viveka and vairagya, adrida manas is required for dhyana. So this is dhyana. Okay, in the context of prayer, this is dhyanam. The dhyana vishaya is always Ishvara alone. No other object is the dhyana vishaya. And like Kayikam and Vachikam karma, dhyana also has Drishtapala and Adrishtapalam also. But then, uh, Kayikam karma can produce more Adrishtam. This is what we saw when we first, in the previous classes, we saw about Kayikam karma. Kayikam prayer, a ritual, always gives more phala. Adrishtapalam is adhikam in Kayikam karma. And the purpose of prayer is what? To produce more punyam, adrishtam. That is the purpose of prayer. The prayer is the only act which you do willingly. Nobody can force you to pray. People can force you to do the act of prayer. You know, like they can say, okay, go and offer flower, go and light the lamp, go to the temple. Just because somebody is nagging, you may do certain things. But that attitude, that prayerful attitude may not be there. The karma, as the prayer karma will be there, but the attitude is not there. It comes only, that is where your free will is complete, you know. You are free to use your free will only when you pray. You are a complete person. That is exactly where your free will really plays its role in a full sense. Some people say, if Bhagwan wishes, then I'll become a bhakta. No, you have a free will. That is where you choose to pray or not to pray, to be prayerful or not to be prayerful. That is also a choice. There also you have your freedom. In other cases, you may have doubt, you know, whether it is my free will or it is my prarabdha. All those doubts will be there. But at that moment to pray, it's completely in your control. So prayer is by choice alone, because prayer is a karma that is also out of choice. You cannot wash your hands off saying that I'm not destined to pray. It's not in my prarabdha. No. So we saw that the purpose of prayer is to earn Ishvara's grace, Nugraha. And prayer being a satkarma, it earns Adrishtapalam. It is meant for producing Adrishtam. And among Kayikam, Vachikam and Manasam karma, Kayikam karma produces Adrishta, more punya. And since one does not know how much papam and how much punyam a person has in one's account, you continue to do karma which produces more punyam. And for this sake, and for this Adrishtapanam only, Purta karma and Ishta karma are prescribed. Okay? These two produce a lot of punya. What is Purta karma? Purta karma is a certain karma which benefits the society. Social service, we can say. Okay? It is a responsibility, as a responsibility. It's a public service. Yeah, it is free will. Avanarulale avantal vanangi, we can say that. Definitely, there is nothing wrong. Even for me to be able to do that, we see everything as grace. Completely everything as grace. It doesn't, you see everything as a blessing. So whenever you get receive something good in your life, that I am able to do something, that I am able to choose my, in that point, I can make any choice, right? So when I am able to do a prayer at that time, I see it as an anugraha. I accept it as an anugraha. I see that itself as a blessing, but it doesn't mean only because of him I am praying to him. Not like that. That is a very humble way of saying it. Even that I am blessed too. So everything is seen as a blessing there. You understand? Is that convincing or you want more? Where you surrender that ego. You understand, Sashi? Where you surrender, even that ego is surrendered. That individuality is not there. That is why Karma Yoga, I told you, Yoga Buddhya. With that Yoga Buddhi, where you see everything as a grace. So where even the prayer also you see it as grace. When you have that individuality, that ego, when it is strong, that person doesn't pray. The one who thinks, I am the one who is doing. Later on, Bhagavan says, Ma karma pala hetu bhuvu. Ma karma pala hetu means you do not, if I see myself as the one who performs everything, you focus only on hard work. So if I do this, then I will get this result. Okay, you don't even bring Ishvara into the picture. You don't bring Ishvara into the picture, what happens? Then you are not able to, you are happy when there is success. But when there is failure, again, at that time you blame yourself because I didn't do this, I did not perform well, or you blame, or else you blame Ishvara for that, you know. So it goes into blaming rather than accepting the situation. That acceptance is something that one needs to have. That is, we call it as grace. That acceptance itself we call as grace. It is a humble way of saying. It doesn't mean, okay, if Bhagavan wants me to pray, I will pray. Otherwise, if I don't feel like praying, it means Bhagavan doesn't want me to pray. It is not like that. Avan arulale, avan taal vanangi. There is nothing. So there is no you there. You know, that individual person, that ego is not there. That is the meaning of that sentence. Okay. So this Purta karma is something which is prescribed, you know, everybody has to. What is Purta karma? You dig a well, you dig a pond, you dig in history books for generations we have been studying Ashoka, King Ashoka. Okay, he planted trees, he laid roads. We have been reading all this, you know, in history book. I don't know what is there in history book nowadays, but that was what was taught. As if there was no other king who did that, only Ashoka did it. So you plant trees. How tree can be a punya karma? How planting a tree gives you punya? You look at the ecosystem, the roots of the trees, they stop soil erosion, which means there won't be flood, right? Which means the water is held, whatever water is there, it holds the water. So if there is flood, there will be loss of life, loss of crop, loss of everything. So by planting a tree, each one planting a tree or protecting a tree, you are avoiding certain calamities, man-made calamities at least. And then it is a house for the birds, and the leaves and flowers and fruits. It's a food for the birds or other, and for human beings also. It gives shade. Just imagine just planting one tree. How how many jivas are benefiting? So all that punyam comes to you. All that punyam comes to you. You dig a well. Somebody in this group also donated for a borewell. A person attending this class. So that water is used for the trees, for the goshala. Just imagine the amount of punyam you are earning just by digging one well. And then Purta karma and Purta karma is common for everyone. There is no jati and all. Everybody should. People from all varnas are supposed to come together and do this Purta karma. And then they used to have this Sumai Tangi. What do you say for Sumai Tangi? If you in South India, you will find that two straight granite stones pillars will be there, and across the two granite pillars there will be a granite slab. You know, it will be 5 feet or 6 feet high. In those days, people used to walk carrying weights on the head, on shoulders. They will be carrying children also, you know, on their shoulder, on the hip, on their waist. So what do they do when they are carrying weight? People won't be available all the time on the street, on the road, because they used to walk a lot, long distance. Sometimes, if you, without depending on other people, you can just shift that weight without bringing it down. You don't have to go through the pain of bringing the weight down and again lifting it up. It's very difficult, you know, when there is too much of weight. So you just shift it from your head directly to that slab, granite slab, and then you can rest. You can make your child sit there, whatever, you know, for some time, and then again slowly you shift it back to your head. So it was a punya karma. You're relieving someone from pain, giving them rest, then providing water wherever on the way they will provide. You must have seen that mandapam on the way while traveling through Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and other places. Suddenly there will be a small mandapa made of granite. It looks like a part of temple, but it's not a part of temple. Simply one mandapa will be there. What is this mandapam for? For travelers to sit and rest, to just to lie down, stretch their legs, you know, or they will be packed. They used to pack food and bring. In those days when there was no hotels, and everywhere there may not be annachitram. Sometimes you carry your own food. Some people can't afford to buy food also. They were not selling. There are certain things. They used to buy grains, you know. They will buy rice, dal, and cook also. Sometimes they will sit and cook wherever they are. They will, whatever leaves and figs they get, they will cook and eat. So that mandapam is a place where they will sit and cook and eat and go. And always it will be on the banks of a river or near a pond or a lake. So for water, there is no scarcity of water. So like this, that is a purta karma. That is a punya karma. Providing water to the birds and animals. Something which we used to do in every Hindu family during summer. Everybody will keep a bucket of water for the cow which comes, you know. It will come and stand in front of your house. You provide water. There will be a huge bucket for that. You just fill the water and give it to the cows. And you keep a small uh, mug of water for the birds. Even for the dogs, they used to make. I remember we used to make a small, dig a hole and keep on kotanguchi, you know, kotang, the coconut shell, and pour water for the dogs to come and drink. All those were there. Nowadays, they keep. Do you have this in Amazon? You get that something, you know, where you keep grains for the birds to come and eat. We used to just keep it in a cup. The birds used to come and eat. So like this, these are all purta karmas, where you do for the fellow human beings and all the other jivas. And also desilting, you know. It's not enough if you make a pond and the lake. Everybody should come together and you have to silt it every time. Remove the sediments and make that place, the river, fit to receive rain again. This providing water was considered as a big punya karma. Water is amritam, you know. Even the raga is also amritavashi. If there is no rain, you sing the raga amritavashi. So the rain is considered as amrita, as a life giver, gives immortality as though because it saves you from death, keeps you alive, keeps you energetic. Just sometimes even just water is enough to refresh you, to give you the enough whatever nourishment you require is there in water. So Water is amrita. That's why you're not supposed to throw water. After drinking water, you don't throw water. We were not allowed to do that. My grandfather used to give. He said, drink water. Take only as much as you want. Don't throw water. So like this is providing water is a Mahapunya karma. Even when a person comes home first, everybody offers water. Then only you ask whether you want tea or coffee and all comes later. You first offer water. And you are not supposed to refuse water to others also. If somebody wants water, even if you are drinking water, somebody says, I'm thirsty. The natural tendency is to offer water, right? It comes, where did it come from? Being born in this Sanatana Dharma is there in our blood. We are born with that Dharma ingrained in us. Others may not understand. That's why you don't even sip the water. Because hygiene is there. You can share water with anybody. Nowadays, nobody will ask. If you don't want others to ask water, the shortcut is sip and drink. They won't ask. Because sometimes in schools, nowadays I don't know how it was, but how it is. But those days, for some children, the mother will pack everything and give water, extra water, everything. My mother used to do that. She will give enough water so that I don't have to drink from the school's dirty tank water. So till morning, the time I go to school till I come back, she will give sufficient water. But there will be children in the class who are irresponsible. Either they are lazy to carry water or their mothers don't care. So they will always take water from the other person, whoever has water. Happy. And since we are not supposed to refuse water, we were taught like that. So they take advantage of it. You're not supposed to say no. I'm asking water and you're not giving me water. You can't even give water. They make you feel guilty for that. Then of course we were taught. They have the responsibility of bringing water. Giving water is only when the person runs out of water or for some other reason they didn't have water. But if somebody is lazy and taking advantage of you can always refuse water. So you should not be buddhu also, right? One has to be intelligent. When you follow dharma, you should not become buddhu in the process. You should take care of yourself. You have the right to take care of yourself. That is also your right. You have every right to be safe, to take care of yourself, to protect yourself. Anyway, so this water is amritam. So providing all these are come under purta karma. These purta karmas produce lot of punyam. Even annadanam, yeah, I forgot that. Annadanam. You provide food to whoever needs food. Okay, to the needy. I won't say feed the poor. I will say feed the needy because anybody can be hungry, right? Even a rich man can be hungry. At that time, he didn't have food. You give him food. This food is for the one who is hungry. That's all. For the poor, we say because they are incapable of doing. That's all. Otherwise, food is for everyone. Annadanam is for everyone. Anyone who is hungry, you give food. So Annadanam is Mahapunyam. Because the hunger and thirst is very painful. And children should be taught that. You should make them be hungry for some time and thirsty for some time. Then only they will know what it is to be hungry, what it is to be thirsty. Only when then they can even have that empathy for others. Okay, I can feel the other person's pain. The person is hungry. I'm supposed to share or give. in this, when I was talking about trees, planting trees, we planted trees when we were in Gurukulam there. I'm not talking about Ashravidya, I'm talking about Ashravidya Gurukulam where we studied Anikatti. At that time, this tree planting project was there. There were a lot of plays, and somebody started it, okay? And everybody sponsored because it is punyam to plant trees. And they were all teak wood trees. And it was a bit expensive. Teak wood trees to buy and plant is. But everybody sponsored. Some people sponsored 10, some people sponsored 50, and many other plants also were planted. And now it's a forest. The place is a forest like. And everybody supported those trees every month for a few years till they grew up. Now you don't have to support because now they are huge, they are big. So when we planted 600 trees in our Gurukulam here in Ashravidya Varshini also, one person wanted to participate. I think this person sponsored for some 5 or 6 trees there. So it is Punya Karya. How Punya Karya, this planting trees, providing water, they give a lot of adrishtam. So after class you sit and think how many lives you are touching, by this one punya karma. Small, it could be small, somewhere near your house you do something, or somewhere, anywhere. It could be far or near, doesn't matter. Adrishtam has to be earned. Either you earn adrishtam because you want punyam, or you spontaneously do because living on this earth, it is our responsibility, it is our duty to be kind to all other living beings. In that way, whichever way you looked at, it produces punyam. There is nothing wrong in doing a karma to earn punyam. Nothing wrong about it. Because when a person wants to do punyam, at least that person is doing some dharma karya at that time. Somebody is benefiting, right? Even though this person wants to earn, I'm doing it only for my selfish. We cannot say selfish, because we are not supposed to judge anyone for that. If the person wants to earn punya, why should we even call that person as being selfish? He is earning punyam, and whatever karma he is doing is going to benefit someone. Definitely, it's going to bless him. That anugraha will be there, knowingly or unknowingly. Whatever good karma you do, it definitely blesses you. That's why in puja and yaga and homa and whatever you do, it always ends with some dhanam, either annadanam or astardanam, or sometimes you give money, Some dhanam is always a part of the ritual, the puja. Dhanam is one thing where you get punya. That also produces a lot of adrishta phala. So these are purta karmas. Okay. Then chatram also is there. You must be knowing about that. Every community had its own chatram where people were provided food. Even today in Kashi, there are many chatrams which are free. In Parani also, on the way you will find chatrams. So these are few purta karmas. There may be many. I am not aware of other purta karmas. These are very common ones. And then comes ishta karma. Ishta karma means ritual. Ishti means yaga. Okay. Which is kaikam. The next, because this purta karma is sometimes kaikam and sometimes indirectly you do certain things. But this ishta karma is something where you are physically, mentally, are totally present. These two karmas are prescribed for earning adrishta phala, and they are part of religious karma. They are not, just because it is social, it doesn't mean something social and something religious. Because it is producing punyam, punyam means Ishvara, So how can it be separated at there is no, that's why Swamiji says there is nothing secular about our Sanatana Dharma. Everything is centered on Ishvara. Everything is religious. Everything is done with a prayerful attitude. There is nothing secular. You bring Ishvara into everything, anything that you do. So these are the two important, Purta Karma and Ishta Karma. Both are not separate. Just because I say Ishta Karma, Ishvara is involved, Purta Karma means Ishvara is not involved. It is not like that. So these produce Adrishtam. Every prayer is for the purpose of producing Adrishta, for Punya. This is the purpose of prayer. And the more and more you recognize Ishvara, more and more you bring Ishvara, recognize Ishvara as a Karma Pala Data, you become a very objective person. The one who does karma with Aham Buddhi is very subjective, because whatever result is there, he sees himself as responsible. He takes everything upon himself. So there's a lot of stress. I didn't perform this well, I didn't do this properly, it is only because of me. You take all the responsibilities upon yourself. You are not in control of everything. Only you understand your limitations, you accept your limitations. You accepting limitation doesn't mean accepting helplessness. Limitation should not be equated to helplessness. Okay? Limitation is, this is my limitations. I know my strength. How much strength I have, how much buddhi I have. It's limited. For the baki, you just surrender. That's all. You accept Ishvara. You know limitations and seek help. If you don't understand, if you don't accept your limitations, and you see yourself as someone who is supposed to do everything perfectly, then definitely there will be stress. That is why Bhagavan said, Ma karma pala hetur bhutu. Karmanyeva adhikaraha. You have choice over action. What you want to do, what you do not want to do, and how you want to do. You have the choice. Adhikara means choice, okay? You have choice over action. But you have no choice over the result of the action. How the result will be is not in your hands. How the action should be is in your hands totally. With reference to the result of the action, you have no free will. You can expect. There is nothing wrong in expectation. Bhagavan did not say don't expect results. Bhagavan said expect results. Otherwise, why should anybody do any karma? You do with the expectation only. There is nothing wrong in expecting 100 marks. There is nothing wrong in expecting anything in this life. With expectation, you can do. But then, what will be the result of it? It's not in your hands. You don't have a choice over that. So don't get attached to the result of the action. If you get attached to the result of action, then you will be subject to dukkam. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma pala hetuhu bhutu. So hey Arjuna, with reference to the result of action, you have no choice. You can only go by your free will. There is nothing else you can do. How I accept the result of the action is there you have free will. In the acceptance of the result of action, you can sit and cry, or you can just accept it and try one more time. So you can see it as a failure and feel depressed. There again your free will is there. How you accept the result of the karma, you have free will. But what the result will be, how the result should be, you have no free will. In expectation, of course, you can have the expectation, but how it will be, you have no free will. So if the result depends on so many unknown factors, you can't deal with everything. The unknown factors are too many. What you know, you can only deal with what you know. And in fact, what you know also is limited. How much ever you say I know, it is only limited. You prepare for everything, you are prepared for everything, you pack everything, then the rain comes, you didn't have umbrella. What do we do? You didn't expect rain. So you're not prepared for rain. Something happened. Since you do not have a complete choice over the result of actions, you better recognize your limitations. Okay? Not helplessness, but limitations. We'll continue in the next class. Om स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ